for a moment, I'm gonna take this view. Just for a moment, I'm gonna be here. Just for a moment, I'm gonna look through the day, and I'm gonna take a time to breathe, if there is possible to me at this stage. I kept on being who I am, and I'll be still evermore and forever. And suddenly the reality is, I kept on doing what I naturally, at the who I am, just been doing. Through these days we have too much pains, and through these days we have done a lot of other situations and circumstantially happening so much which we are not really for bearing or tolerating. To the clearly saying and to the clearly establish what this all days brought and suddenly we go through is really difficult to synthesize for the heavy and so wide reality as clear crowdy as names, loss, pains, suffers, and realities are exactly which we should ever embrace and know. But I'm gonna set something for these realities to be known, an awareness or acknowledge for the reality of how to survive them. Adonai to help us at the reason of this all. I am coming through in a very destructions these days and suffering really much. The reality of this, my days and my suffer, is always the same and is permanently equal until the reality of mine to denounce the clear of all and justice embrace the whole of us and to me with. I have been certain class of situation and less humanity permanently by Christina Nestor Kirchner, Maximo Kirchner, Kirchner's societies. And the whole degeneration, which officially is in Argentina, Peronism Argentina, with the pardon of victims, abominable freak out, Sodoma y Gomorra, Policía Federal Argentina, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, with the pardon of few victims. And the clear of the soul, which implies in legacies of masonry for a moment, and legacies of crime for another, and legacies of degenerates at the clear of the permanent. So suddenly for the day, and to the clearing this, happened what normally were happening. I were telling that I were about being commercialized in a very Asian market. And the reality is that happened, but staging, the money will never be around, and I will be just kind of an element for certain manipulating law, which fascetta mantrabura shluta Christina Kirchner will ever handle. And still dares to keep on making the same thing and instigating for massive rape and murder to Jewish and families and friends of mine, telling for her patriot. The cycle abominable freak. Then clear of this and through these times happened like Policía Metropolitana, Policía Federal Argentina, Gendarmería Nacional were making a serious allegation and job they tears serious. All through for the fact of actually I will ever be like they made it up with Cuerpo Médico Forense en Guillermo Horacio Pérez and Osvaldo Carníbal, milicos degenerados, with the pardon of few Cuerpo Médico Forense and victims around, that I will be chunky is the term, falopero, drug addict. So the clear of this, a lot of Kirchner's buddies and a lot of firms and the lies opportunistically of mercaders, degenerates abominables like Osvaldo Carnival and Prain, between much other, are degenerates, with liking to be them own. At the clear of this and degenerates Kirchner's societies, telling that I were internated severe times, telling that I existed like this all the time and I were internated since a kid, that my mother were the same. There to forging documents, photos, videos, like with the sexual thing with the Perras Sodoma and others. And there to making worst of all and worse with my friends and them mothers and them families and still theirs. The reality of this, they're to saying with Hospital Borda Piñeiro, Alvear, that they will never be insulted and neither them expertises and I wouldn't get away with it. With Perra Prain, Carnival and Associated. Then, forgive me again the little violence on the charge of the real terms. Clearly came the situation saying that I had to be internated for drugs consuming and having sex with men of forces. And for lying, if there wouldn't be the case to possibly doing, about damaging the government with lies and lying about what the government will do and about that I will making an advertisement to International Criminal Court and International Court of Justice, which no one will ever request and I will ever be in like, I never allowed to do such a thing and I am the president and I never let it. We are managing this. If they need anything here, to us. The liars, the whore. Sorry the word. Not for her. Because of she is worse than that word. So at the clear of the days, simply kept on delivering like I had to be picked up. And they had to come to my house, especially when I am not there, for the, oh, I got up the mother. The problem is, once this all, and what I said yesterday, and what I sent to International Criminal Court, and Your Honor Edmund J., ISIS in New York, and Your Honor Danny Eichel, The Hague, asked me to publishing myself, just went around, and the generation Kirchners, Perra, Cristina Kirchner, Perra Aníbal Fernández, Perra Máximo Kirchner, Perra Daniel Sumarit, Perra Adrian Atalo, which are not them real names, pretender of presidents of Argentina, UNASUR, asking in a hurry to Jorgelina, pedófila degenerada víbora, head of PFA, la cabeza de Policía Federal Argentina, el jefe de la Policía Federal, me dijo que yo podía hacer lo que quisiera con él. And that's the thing, of course, perra enferma, like the rest. And in the middle of this all, sending to destroying me while we're kidnapped Jewish and some victims around who knew and understood what were happening